Howdy, fellow skeptics. Lester the Skeptic Tank here. What you're seeing here is a GNU Cache window with a basic set of accounts. I'll go into that later, but for those new to setting up and using financial software like this as an example, or if you are going to be using QuickBooks, you'll see how easy it really is to start managing your books with a more robust tracking features in terms of who owes you money, to whom you owe money, when is that money owed, when do you expect payment to be processed, and so forth into your respective checking, savings, credit card accounts, what have you. So to start, as with a lot of software solutions out there, we're going to create a file. Just hit next. This is where, especially if you're going to be operating as a business, if that is the case, keep in mind reconciliation will be a recurring thought as you record your daily business activities and reconciling what happens in the day-to-day operation with how they're recorded in your respective software. Now in GNU Cache, I will probably do something with QuickBooks and see if I can demonstrate the same processes. Now every software solution is different. At least with GNU Cache, you can fill out basic pieces of information, and again, just make sure, especially when it comes to whether you're setting up yourself as a DBA, you want to make sure that's clearly conveyed in your bookkeeping software, along with the administrative paperwork you will have to fill out with the corresponding entities you have to submit that paperwork to. So again, reconciliation is going to be key throughout your life of using bookkeeping software, whether that's going to be in a solution like GNU Cache, QuickBooks, or Xero, and even especially when you transition from one solution to another. We understand businesses change and grow, and with expansion, needs are going to inevitably change. Your business use requirements are going to evolve, and you want to keep up with that. So every software solution can be a starting point. It may not necessarily be the ending point. So keep that in mind as well. So from that, I'm just going to go test company or demo. Let's do demo. This is very intriguing in that this is going to be based on this one, at least as I understand it, will be the formatting and sequencing of your various transactions, and based on what you're seeing here, your customers, your vendors, your employees. So I'm going to do very generic, and again, if you are operating as a business, that's going to be up to you. And if you are working with a bookkeeping or accounting professional, definitely consult them. And by the way, that's often going to be my preface. If you are operating as a business, that art of deferral is going to be very important and helpful. And if you are working in partnership with another person or another set of people, as always, of course, I'm pretty sure that's all been worked out for you and your business. Consult, collaborate, and come to a decision you collectively can agree on, etc. And a lot of software out there provides you multiple currency support. Now, this is talking about your base currency, your home currency. So if you are dealing in multiple currencies, of course, the exchange rate will be based on your home currency. So I generally work with the dollar on a personal level, although I do have some transactions, but my point of reference will always be based on the US dollar. Mileage varies, again, defer, consult, you know the rest. Here is where you can make this as extensive or as cleanly as you want. I'll go into more detail about, especially with respect to specific software solutions. But on the general, you've got your asset accounts, your equity accounts, your expenses, an income account, and liability account. Or in the case of, let's see what this is. I haven't messed with this, but a simple checkbook. Let's do that. Keep it clean, keep it small, and then if we need to, we can add as we go. That's the other thing you could do with various solutions out there. You can make it as minimal, and then as your needs grow, you can add different accounts. So let's start with that. Okay. There it is. You know, you're in a company file. Then, at least that's how QuickBooks users would refer to. And now you can start recording transactions. We'll go into a little bit more detail later, especially how the account setup and the account listing interacts with various events within a business or within your day-to-day life, purchasing and selling in certain regards, certain services and certain products. Now I'll be working within the reference of GNU Cache mainly, and then at some point once I get my VirtualBox running, I'll probably show some flexibility that QuickBooks still offers in comparison or contrast against other solutions, and how, based on the use I've had with GNU Cache over the last week or two, that QuickBooks does still offer an advantage. And if you are operating as a business, you might find it more worth your while to retain the usage of software like QuickBooks that is using a subscription model. Now, if I find in my use and further research of GNU Cache that I can find something usable, if I'm going to do something like track inventory, then I'll let you guys know. Otherwise, here it is from the very bare bones of tracking your books. Alright? Hopefully that wasn't too rough. It was fairly straightforward, and as always, if you have questions or comments, just drop a comment or a question. I'd be more than happy to try to answer it to the best of my ability. as I learned in my days as a Tier 2 agent, you weren't always one to have the answers, but you knew how to find them. So, I may not have the answer offhand, but be assured I will do my darndest to find it. Okay, so until next video, fellow skeptics, peace, and I'll catch you on the other side.